Okay, so this time, our discussion focus on e-governance for public service, no? Public service talaga. E-governance is more than just putting government service online. No? It's about transforming how the government services its people using digital tools. It means faster services, less paperwork, fewer queues, no, and more transparency. Imagine renewing your driver license or paying real property tax without having to leave your home. This is what e-governance makes possible. It empowers citizens while also modernizing governance. And to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Sir Edgar.
Good afternoon po, Doc. Good afternoon po, classmates. I'm Edel Jr. and my topic for this presentation is e-governance for public service.
Okay, so as I started
So,
earlier, no?
sorry po.
Ay,
So, sorry po, Doc. Karoon lang po
okay,
ng
go ahead.
technical problem. So, again po, magandang hapon po sa inyo. And introduction ko po, e-governance has become pivotal aspects of modern public administration. It utilizes information and communications technology to improve the delivery of government services to foster transparency and enhance citizen engagement. Kumbaga ba, if you were to ask, if you were to compare us from other countries na whom have long established e-government services, like Estonia, Canada. So one might say, ordinary na tao, one might say na we have long ways to go pa. Kumbaga, marami pa tayong kailangan magawa. Pero actually, the truth is the Philippines has already made a lot of strides, as mentioned in terms of e-governance. As mentioned ni Ma'am Mira earlier, what became the catalyst kung bakit tayo nag-lean towards digitalization talaga is yung nangyari nung pandemic 2020 ba. So yun, it also exposed yung weaknesses natin sa technology such as yung natin yung kumbaga ba parang yung infrastructure natin, infrastructure. Also nagkaroon din tayo ng mga nakita natin yung mga pagkukulang natin doon sa mga equipments natin, mga gamit natin sa offices. Ayan. And also, yun nga, yung technical know-hows. Tapos yun, sa pag-maintain ng paggawa ng mga programs, nandiyan din yung mga IT personnels natin, tsaka mga programmers natin, nagkaroon tayo ng nakita natin yung mga weaknesses natin. But yun nga, ang Pilipinas naman, we are resilient and may effort tayo. So if we are not already there, we are on our way ba? Yun ba yung, so yan. That is for my introduction. Uh, Medyo mabagal lang po yung internet. So, key objectives. So, ayan po. Key objectives natin for e-governance. Yan, yung mga natin. Improve service delivery, enhance efficiency, citizen-centric approach, and cost effectiveness. So sa improved service delivery, government service provides citizens with faster, more convenient access to public services. Sa enhanced efficiency, automation of government processes, reduce delays, errors, and administrative burdens. Citizen-centric approach. So e-governance ensures that services are tailored to meet the needs of citizens, increasing their accessibility and cost effectiveness by reducing paperwork and streamlining processes. E-governance reduces operational costs for the government. Siguro lahat naman tayo naka-experience na nung ano yun, nung makapag-apply ng ano, mga permits sa government, kagaya ko na, GSIS, kung ano ba yung kahapon nag-apply ako ng ano ng birth certificate kasi as part of the requirements natin dito sa mga isasubmit natin sa WCC yung birth certificate. Kahapon nag-apply ako, tinry ko na din. Opportunity na rin yun para matry natin yung mga yung in-offer na yung online payment at saka yung pang ano. Tinry ko pareho eh. Yung online payment, nagbayad ako para dun sa delivery pa ng ano, birth certificate. Tapos tinry ko din na mag-online appointment. Both are successful. So yan, kung i-compare natin yun, baka kung dun sa yung usual na pupunta ka sa government office, babayad ka, kukuha ka ng number, and then pipila ka, and then you'll wait for your turn to be called. Yun ba yung ano ba? Mas maganda talaga. Medyo malaki talaga yung kaibahan, yung convenience ba na makakapag-apply ka yung through online, yeah, using your mobile phones or if you're in front of the computer. Mas malaki talaga yung ano. Hindi lang naman sa government yan, pati naman sa private sectors, di ba? Yun, yung kababayad ng Meralco, di ba? Napakalaking bagay nun. Sa bahay ka na lang, and then you could use your time para sa iba pang mas productive na bagay. So yan. So ito yun, meron akong picture nung kahapon. So yan, mga offer ng online payments. Yan. Excuse me po, gumagalaw po ba yung screen natin? Na hindi po ba?
Yes, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Sorry po. Again, sorry po sa delay. So example, kahapon transactions sa PSA, Philippine Statistics Office. Yan po may mga options po tayo para kapagbayad, yung GCash, Visa, GrabPay, yan, po tayong option. Ito po yung screenshots kahapon sa PSA. So other government agencies nag-offer din po sila. Kagaya nung dati, nung sa, kumuha ko ng PEC, nag-apply ako ng PEC sa PRC, sa ombudsman, requirement po yun. Nakapagbayad din ako online. Yun, nag-offer din sila online. Pwede ka rin magbayad sa mga bayad centers. Ayan. Think Peace Portal ng Land Bank. Yan. So, yan po. So, very, very convenient, kumbaga. As compared nung kung pupunta ka pa doon, pipila ba. Yan. Okay. Next slide po ako. Yan. Examples of e-governance natin, e-governance services, digital identification systems, programs such as India's Aadhaar or Estonia's ID law, allows citizens to access a variety of government services using a unique digital identity. Yan ba? So, sa Pilipinas, foreign din eh. Tinignan ko yung, yung e-national ID. It is parang collaboration between DICT and PSA na kung saan yung parang seamless way to carry your e-national ID, electronic copy na siya. So yun, pwede ka rin makapag-avail ng government service. Sabi ko ba parang tatanggapin nyo ng mga government agencies sa valid ID. So yan. So yan. Another example of e-governance services is online public service portals. Yan. Websites and apps. Some websites kailangan mga ibang websites kailangan pa nila ng kumbaga ba parang kailangan nila ng username and passwords. Other websites, other government websites hindi naman. Such as yun sa amin sa NTC, hindi mo na kailangan mag-login para ma-access yung mga services kasi yun, laman naman ang website namin, yung mga downloadable forms, mga MCs, MOs, mga regulations natin. Si NTC kasi siya sa lahat na siya yung sanghay ng gobyerno na nagpapataw, naglalatag, nagpapatupad ng lahat ng serbisyong ng regulasyon sa lahat ng serbisyong pan-telecommunication sa Pilipinas, yung telecommunication services. So yun, other websites kailangan mo pa ng username and passwords. Sa iba naman, hindi. So yan, such as yung PRC, GSIS, yan. So, yan. Yan. So, meron pa yung apps, yung mga mobile apps natin. Again, yung GSIS, meron yan. Land Bank, and other agencies, lahat naman halos meron na ding mobile apps. So yan. So online public service portals. Yung e-health and e-education, those are digital platforms in healthcare and education that provides remote consultations, online courses, and digital learning tools. Yun, marami din naman tayo yan sa Pilipinas. So yan. So key initiatives natin sa Pilipinas, yun nga, yung among them is PhilGEPS, Philippine Government Electronic Procurement Systems. It ensures yung government yung nagpo-procure kasi yung government. Yun nga. It promotes transparency pa. Kung saan yung mga trade merchants natin, they could access it. They could also yung bid, makapag-submit sila ng mga bids nila through PhilGEPS. Parang ito yung advertisement ng government, kumbaga pag meron siyang mga kailangan i-procure, dito niya idinadaan. Yun nga, it promotes transparency. So, the more the transparent, the less the corruption. E-gov services, the government has implemented several online platforms that provide services such as business registrations, permits, tax filing, and licensing. Platforms like BIR, EBIR forms for tax filing, and ELTO for driver's licenses have made these processes more convenient for citizens. Yan. So iba pa, dagdag pa dito, meron tayong yung iba pang platforms na yung eto lang, dagdag ko lang dito sa PhilGEPS, no. Yung PhilGEPS kasi yung para tayong lahat end user na yung government system, yung government agency ilalagay niya doon yung mga needs niya, yung mga procurement needs niya, lalagay niya, i-advertise niya doon. And then yung merchant, meron din silang account doon. They could view. Pag tinignan mo yung PhilGEPS, makikita mo doon, pwede kang mamili communications, yung different categories pa. Depending on what kind of merchant are you. Yan, natin. Pwede kang pumili doon. And then from pag pinili mo doon, lalabas doon lahat ng mga procurement na ina-advertise sa mga government agencies. Ayan. So yan, PhilGEPS. Tapos e-gov services. Yan. Isa pa, dagdag pa dito yung isa na hindi masyado, yung National Single Window ba, ganun din. Platform din yun ng government ng customs ba, na kung saan, lahat kasi lahat ng equipment na papasok sa Pilipinas, yan, kailangan dumadaan siya yung ina-apply siya through customs, di ba? So yung NSW, parang initiative to para ma-less ba yung human to human transaction. So yan, yung mga mag-a-apply, they have an account, tapos yung each government agencies, they are all users of NSW. So depending on what kind of merchant are you, apply ka sa NSW, sabi mo electronic equipment, and then you choose electronic equipment, ang mag-aano yan, si NTC. Tapos pag naman mga mga drugs and ano, mga drugs na, I mean, yung drugs na, yung mga medicines pa. So, yun naman, papasok naman siya sa mga agencies na ano sa kanya, related sa kanya. That is how yung NSW works. So, yan. So, limitations natin, yun nga. Yung limitations natin sa 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 e-governance, yung nga, infrastructure and connectivity. Ito yung na ano to nung panahon ng pandemic, that is the time na ano na-expose talaga yung yung ano natin, yung kahinaan natin, yung kahit ngayon ako di ba, naging mahina yung connections ko dito. I have to switch although mobile naman kasi yung ginamit ko. Kaya mahina yung isang network, hindi ko sabihin. Tapos switch ako to sa isa pang network. So yan. So yan. Tapos digital literacy, always. So digital literacy, kasi yun nga. Yung mga websites natin, yung mga apps natin, siyempre, kailangan din natin ng ano na ma-develop yan, mga developers natin. So yan. Tapos yung mga gumagamit, mga end users natin sa government, yung IT natin, siyempre, nagkakaroon din ng time na ano, na-expose din na kulang din tayo talaga. So kailangan natin ng more IT personnel para kapag ano tayo. Tsaka yung trainings ba sa mga ano, pagkaya ng sinabi ni Ma'am Mira kanina, may kako-workers siya. Ano lahat naman tayo dumaan sa baga parang dumadaan tayo na wala tayong alam. Kaya let us admit it na may mga, lalo yung new technologies, medyo mahirap din talaga. Pero yun nga, ano it boils down to yung kung gaano mo pa kung gaano mo siya sinusubukan ba yung ano pa, may resiliency ay kailangan kong gawin to. So it boils down to will ba? Willpower ba? Yun. So yun yung ano natin. So digital platforms for delivering government services. Ayan. So digital platforms are integral to the implementations of e-governance, enabling government to deliver public services efficiently and in a more accessible manner. These platforms allow citizens to access services without the need for physical presence or long waiting times. Yun nga, digital platforms. Yung kanina, yung mga websites natin, ano natin? Sir. Tapos yun nga yung mga digital platforms natin, yung mga digital platforms natin, yung mga ano natin, government websites natin, apps, so yung mga portals natin. Up to think of it yung portals kasi parang parang kanina ko lang naisip yung parang yung portal parang di ba yung pag sinabi natin portal parang it brings you from one dimension to another. So ayan, parang ano, meron tayong e.gov.ph kung saan it provides yung pwede ka makakuha through that website, pwede ka ma-direct from different uh, services ano pa lang, pwede ka ma-direct to different government websites. That's one of isa sa mga kagandahan ng e-governance. So yeah, the Philippine government has created several digital platforms aimed at improving the accessibility of government services. Although there is still progress that needs to be made in streamlining services and integrating them into a unified system. So yeah, medyo mahirap kasi medyo mahirap din na i-integrate mo yung different systems from each other. So, lalo na kung different agencies, they have iba-iba yan ng kumbaga parang iba-iba ng mga services yan. Tapos iba-iba din sila ng handling information and so medyo mahirap yan. Pero eventually siguro madarating din tayo doon. Yeah. So yan, features of effective digital platforms always. So yan, ito. user-friendly interface maganda. Dapat dapat user-friendly. Kumbaga, madaling gamitin ba? Yan, it shows that citizens, irrespective of their technological proficiency, can navigate the platform easily. Lalo na yun nga, yung mga ano, hindi pa gano'ng kabihasa sa paggamit ng technology. Yun nga, di ba, may digital divide nga. So those that yung hindi talaga consistently na nakakagamit ng technology, kailangan madaling maintindihan ba yung interface ng natin. User, you should yung mga apps natin, mga websites natin, then offer nating services, they should be able to navigate that easily. Yung platform ba? Tapos next is 24/7 availability. Ayan. So maganda yan. Kaya lang, hindi mo rin naman masasabi na 24/7 eh. Kasi syempre may maintenance pa rin yan, di ba? So platforms provide continuous access to services, eliminating the limitations of office hours and geographic constraints. Although yun nga, almost 24/7. Kagaya ng ano, syempre yung mga banking natin, sabihin natin, tsaka yung mga websites natin, always up naman yun. Aside from yung meron mga maintenance ba. So yan. So integration with other systems, successful digital platforms integrate seamlessly with other government databases and public service providers to offer holistic approach sa mobile accessibility. Yan. The inclusion of mobile platforms allows governments to reach broader demographics, yan, particularly in areas with limited access to computers. Yun nga. Isa pa yun. Isa pa to sa kagandahan ng e-governance bill. Kasi yun nga, nagkaroon tayo ng applications, mobile applications. Ano may examples nito? Yung GSIS. Yung GSIS, merong mobile app yan. Isa lang yun isa kasi ako nag-loan ako sa GSIS and through that monitor ko din yung how much pa yung kailangan ko. Yes, and so yun, malaking bagay yan. Kasi you have real-time access, di ba? Kaya yun. Next is key examples of digital platforms. Government service delivery portals. Portals, pag sinabi portals, kayo parang one website, madadala ka sa government agencies na kailangan mo. Yun nga, nagtingin ako yung meron tayong e.gov.ph. So yan. So makaka-access ka ng various services from various government agencies through that. Sa pagkakita ko parang mobile app pa rin lang siya. So yan. Tapos mobile apps for service access. Yun nga, many governments now offer mobile applications that allow citizens to to apply for benefits, pay bills, and communicate with local authorities. Although hindi pa naman lahat ng agencies may ganyan, pero yun nga, nagkaroon na tayo ng maraming improvement. Yung ibang agencies talaga. Kapag kami sa NTC, wala pa rin kaming mga mobile apps. Hindi pa rin kami nakakapag-offer ng online payment. Yun. Pero siguro eventually magkakaroon din. So yun, pero marami nang meron. So yan. So yan. Notable platforms natin, gov.ph, the official government portals. Gov.ph provides unified interface for various government services and resources. It aims to centralize access to public service information and provide links to other digital platforms. Yan, yun ba? Kasi ito, yung Sulong Pilipinas, tinignan ko din ito eh. Yung Sulong Pilipinas parang parang sa pagkakabasa ko it was initiated noong 2016 na panahon ni President Duterte. Saan yung nagko-collect sila ng suggestions from private sectors para mas mapaganda yung services ng government natin. So, magandang initiative to. So, yung Sulong Pilipinas. So, yan. So, limitations, ayan. Fragmented systems, different government agencies have their own digital platform each other, creating redundancy and confusion for citizens. Yan. ano rin yan, nangyayari din talaga yan. And regional disparities, the adaptation of digital services vary significantly across regions, with urban areas benefiting the most from these advancements. So yan. So yung mga areas na kumbaga parang secondary services ng ano natin, hindi ganun kaganda yung services sa kanila. Sabihin na lang natin, pwede mo siya ihalin tulad sa sa mga broadcast stations natin. Meron tayong mga primary, tinatawag na primary, secondary services na kung saan. Dito sa area, kahit na mga telco natin, may primary, secondary services din yan. Kasi bakit ba nagkakaroon ng ganun? Dahil nga, yung, yung area na yun, sabihin natin sa area na yun, mas malaki. At the end of the day, business yan, no? Di ba? Um, yung area na to, konti lang yung subscribers. Dito sa area na to, sa Metro Manila, ganun. Madami na. So talagang ipapagandahin nila dito as compared to other areas na konti lang yung subscribers nila. Parang ano din, yun nga, business yan eh. So yan. So, ano natin? E-payment systems and financial inclusion. So e-payment systems are central to the digitalization of government services, offering a secure, efficient, and convenient way to transfer funds, make payments, and access financial services. Yan, e-governance relies heavily on these systems to improve financial inclusion, allowing citizens, especially in remote or underserved areas, to engage with the formal financial system. Yung mga, ano din parang yung mga areas na din, na walang bangko, yung mga tao na walang bangko. So, pwede rin silang i-serve. They could also use yung e-payment systems through paano? Yung GCash, Paymaya, kung wala silang bangko, they could just, pwede rin sila magbayad ng pwede rin sila magbayad ng mga 7-Elevens. Kaya, so yun yung maganda sa natin, yung e-payment systems natin. Meron, pwede rin tayong magbayad ng through bank. Yan. Yeah. Roles of e-payment systems, simplifying transactions, yan, supporting financial inclusion, and government-backed initiatives. So yung para to sa simplifying transactions, e-payment systems streamline financial transactions, making it easier for citizens to pay taxes, fines, or utility bills electronically. So yan, so yung mga e-payments. Supporting financial inclusions by providing access to digital banking services. E-payment systems help extend financial services to unbanked population, including those in rural areas. Yung pagkaintindi ko dun pag sinabi mong unbanked, yung mga taong walang mga account sa bangko, they could use yung mga mobile wallets nila, ng GCash, Paymaya. Yeah. So government-backed initiatives, programs like direct benefit transfers, DBT, rely on payment systems to ensure timely and transparent delivery of government subsidies to eligible citizens. Parang yung transfer, it is initiated by the sending party. Yung ibig sabihin ba ng direct benefit transfers, it is initiated directly nung sending party. So yan. So examples of e-payment systems, mobile wallets, platforms such as Paytime, Google Pay, M-Pesa enable citizens to make payments for public services as well as purchase goods and services from local merchants. Since natin, mga mobile wallets natin, yung Paymaya and GCash are some of the examples. So yan. Government payment gateways. Many governments have established centralized systems such as India's Bharat Interface for Money, the US Treasury's Pay.gov to facilitate online payments for taxes and services. So yan. So yan. Key e-payment initiatives natin sa Pilipinas. Land Banks Link, Land Banks Link, this portal. Yan. So these platforms allows individuals and businesses to pay for government services such as taxes, fees, and permits online. So yeah, GCash, Paymaya, and Lazada Pay. These Mobile wallet platforms are widely used in Philippines for various transactions, including paying government bills, taxes, and utilities. So yung ano, yun nga, yung ano din, yung parang NBI clearance ko rin. Kumuha din ako ng NBI clearance. Then, ang means ko para makapagbayad ay GCash. So, sa PRC, ganun din. So, yan. So, yan. Ito, mga na-test ko na din na various methods kung paano makapagbayad to avail government services. Yan. So, Philippine National Bank and Development Bank of the Philippines, these banks are also working on improving the accessibility of financial services to the unbanked population through digital banking platforms. So, financial inclusion efforts natin, yung National Retail Payment Systems, ito parang ano ba to, initiative ni Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. The NRPS is designed to provide a more inclusive and secure digital payment system which aims to increase the number of digital financial transactions in the country. Yan. So limitations, access to digital payment systems, although mobile wallets like GCash and Paymayas are popular in urban areas, a significant portion of the rural population still lacks smartphones, yan, the internet, and banking services. So yan. So yun nga, yung parang digital divide, those that are able to use technology and those that are not. And so yan. So security concerns. While e-payment systems have grown, issues related to cybersecurity and fraud still remains a concern for the public. Ito meron akong kakilala na first-hand talagang naka-experience nito ba na alam niyo yung yung landbank, di ba? Dati, di ba may mobile may mobile lang may mobile app ang landbank. Pero dati meron din siya sa through the use of computers, no? Pwede kang magpunta doon. You can make transactions through the use of computer. Siya, ang ginawa niya, yun, nag-type siya, yung land bank. Land bank yung yan. Siya, yung domain name, yung itsura ba ng platform ba, parehong-pareho eh. Pero yung domain name, bakit iba pala? So yun, parang nag-input siya ng password, input siya ng username niya, and then hiningin siya ng one-time. So yung bank niya, so nawalan siya ng 400,000. So it was sent na yung through GCash. Tinulungan pa namin siyang mahanap yung GCash number. Although yung GCash number ay nakaregister daw sa ibang tao. So eventually, ang naibalik lang sa kanya, alam ko wala sa kanya ay 400,000 na kinuha. Di ba sa GCash pwede kang di ba na-transfer na sa GCash yung tao? Sa GCash, meron kang pagpipilian din yung PisoNet and then yung parang dalawa yan eh. Yung isa mabilisan yung isa hindi. So ang pinili nung scammer ay yung hindi mabilis, parang 3 days bago complete yung transactions. Eventually nakuha niya yung kalahati lang. Kalahati lang nung na-scam sa kanya. Tapos yung kalahati wala na, hindi na naibalik. So yun. Isang example yun, yung isa security concerns natin sa paggamit ng mga digital payments, digital banking. Always lagi namang may threat yan eh. So yan. So kailangan let us always be mindful on how we use yung technology natin. Kumbaga ba, may din yung paggamit madali ding pwede ring masamantala ba. Maraming matatalinong tao na ang ginagamit nila sa hindi magandang bagay yung talino nila. So yun. So yan, always be mindful when yung transactions natin lalo na sa pera o lalo na sa mga one-time pin. Yan, always be mindful. So yan. So enhancing transparency and accountability, one of the most compelling reasons for implementing e-governance is its potential to enhance transparency and accountability within the government operations. Digital platforms enable monitoring, auditing, and reporting of government actions, fostering an environment where corruption is less likely to thrive. So isang example na lang nito, yun nga, yung sa customs. Hindi ko sinasabi na sa customs talaga ay ayoko sabihin na talamak ang corruption diyan. Actually, corruption exists everywhere, no? Ano, agreement yan between public and private. As long as meron dyan na nag-initiate and isa na nag-o-offer, corruption will still persist ba? So yun. So yung NSW, napakaganda nito kasi yung mga platforms na hindi na kailangan yung nalilesen ba yung human to human interaction. So yan. So nag-aan yan. So ngayon, yung NSW, ano yan, lahat ng importations dumadaan dyan, screened by yung designated, ano natin, designated agencies. Gaya yung sinabi ko kanina, yung electronic equipments which has wireless capability, ano yan, ano yan ni NTC. So yan. So ngayon, dati, merong mga ano yan may mga bangko na ano, may mga bangko na kumbaga parang bangko na dun sila magbabayad eh. So maganda 'yun kasi once na ano sila, may na assess sila first screening tapos merong approve, second approver, third approver, and then ano na sila for payment. So pag payment nila sa bangko na. Sadly, ngayon nawala yung ano yung parang yung banking transactions sila. Ano pa din. Hindi natin sinasabi na may corruption pero yun nga. Nabawasan yung convenience ba? Yung convenience na doon na rin sila magbabayad using banks na ano allowed ng platform na yun. So yun, ang nangyayari ngayon, pupunta sila sa different agencies once they are screened and yung parang nasa payment stage na sila, pupunta pa rin ngayon sila sa mga government agencies para magbayad. Yun yung medyo hassle, kumbaga. Yun yung nagiging cause ba ng maraming complaints na bakit ganito pa din. Ganito pa ang nangyayari na sa halip na convenient na ano, nagkakaroon pa ng yung mga setbacks pa doon. So yun. So yun. So kailangan, mas maganda sana, yun to avoid corruption, syempre, yung less human contact pa. So yan. So malaking bagay yung transparency and accountability. Yung ano natin, e-government, the implementation of e-governance, maganda siya dun sa transparency and accountability ba. Yan. Tapos, mechanisms to enhance transparency. Yun. Real-time data access na digital tools allows the public to track government spending, project timelines, and implementations of policies. This accessibility ensures that the public resources are used effectively. Yan. So, yun, kung may access alam ko, may access naman talaga dahil sa freedom of information. So, may access naman talaga ang public sa mga government spendings and tsaka na na interested sila ba? Kung saan sila interested, pwede na lang i-access. It is open to the public. Open data initiatives, governments are increasingly making data available to the public through open data portals. So this allows citizens to scrutinize government decisions and policies. Yan. E-procurement systems, yan. PhilJobs, digital platforms for procurement and public contracts help to eliminate corruptions and promote fairness in allocations of government contracts. So yan. So accountability enhancement, citizens feedback systems. Many governments have implemented online surveys, feedback forms, and complaint portals where citizens can provide input on the quality of services and report malpractices. Parang yun nga, yung feedback mechanisms. Meron ako parang kumbaga mix yung emotions, yung ano ko dito. Why? Kasi ano ito lahat naman ng bagay pwedeng maging subject for yung parang abuse ba. So, ako naniniwala ako na a man accused should have the right to know his accuser. Kumbaga ba, lalo na ba yung mga bagay, yung malalaking bagay pa na ikakasira ng isang tao. So, ako naniniwala ako sa ganun. Marami akong nakikita na nagko-complain. Marami akong nakitang complaints na kung saan ba na the reason for their complaint, yung reporting nila is just because of envy. Yun yung envy, galit, inis. Yun yung mga Although most of the complaints, hindi siya totoo eh. Parang ano lang eh. Yun nga. So, kailangan parang ano eh, magkaroon ng guidelines dito eh, kung paano ba yung protektahan din natin yung atin, di ba yun? We as government employees, no? Lahat tayo pwedeng may-complaint eh. Pero how true ba yung complaint sa atin? So, dapat maprotektahan din ba tayo? So, yan. Yun din. Yun nga yun. Paano ba yung feedbacks? Yung 888, nandiyan yung 888, nandiyan yung sa atin, civil service, 888, and so on. Yan. Yan yung mga yan. Parang kailangan magkaroon din ng ano, malinaw na guidelines, transparency ba? So, yan. Hindi ko alam kung paano i-handle yan, pero wala lang. Nagbigay lang din lang ako ng insight pa. So, auditoring and monitoring. E-governance systems make it easier for auditors and oversight bodies to track government actions, reducing the scope of fraudulent activities. Yan. Ay, isa pa pala, ombudsman, no? Yung ombudsman, isa pa pala yun. Balik ko lang dun sa citizens feedback and complaints. Isa pa yun. Ombudsman, yung 888 and then so on. So yung ombudsman, pag ano yun, pag alam ko, sa pagkakaalam ko, pag kinomplaint ka dyan, may ano pa na kagad eh. Although kahit na bawiin ng tao yung complaint sa'yo, magkakaroon ka ng docket eh. You would have to prove na hindi ikaw yung kinocomplaint eh. So, di ba? Masakit din yun eh. Kasi, isang example na lang sa isang government agency, papatayo sila ng building. No? Ito, isang scenario lang. Papatayo sila ng building, no? Di may budget sila, ganito. Nag-pre-bid sila and then ano sila, they did the process ba. Tapos may nag-bid. May time na kailangan mag-submit ng bid documents. Yung nakapag-submit isa lang. Dalawa yung magbibid sana. Dumating yung isa late na. Ano yung dapat actions yun? Pag late ka nag-submit ng bid forms, hindi na yun dapat i-accept, di ba? So ngayon, yung isa para makapanggulo lang, nag-complain sila sa ombudsman na ganito, ganito. Ano nangyari? Nagkaroon ng complaint yung back ng isang organization. Hindi totoo. Hindi totoong nangyari. So ngayon, ang gagawin ng yung nag-complain na yon, yung abuser na yon, ano na yun? Kumbaga parang sisipol-sipol na lang yun. Wala nang babalik sa kanya eh. Etong isa, kailangan niya i-provide yung documents na hindi nila ginawa yung actions na ina-accuse sa kanila. Di ba malaking hassle sa government yan? So yan, inano ko lang. So yan, going past that na, yung blockchain technology na mention to ni Ma'am Mira kanina. So blockchain technology, tinignan ko yung blockchain technology, ito yung advanced feature na parang yung documents would not be tampered, di ba? Parang ganun. So, yung sa advanced feature na isang database. So, maganda yun talaga for transparency. So, yeah. So, another transparency initiatives, Open Data Philippines. This government initiative provides citizens with access to various data sets related to government projects, budgets and performance reports, promoting transparency in public administration. Yeah. And then transparency seal, yun lahat ng government websites, alam ko kailangan na may transparency seal. So the Philippine government's websites include transparency seals that requires government agencies to post essential information, including budget, financial reports, and procurement data. So e-procurement, ayan, next is this system is designed to provide transparency in the public procurement processes by allowing public access to bidding opportunities, results, and procurement-related information. So yan, PhilJEPS. So yan. So accountability measures, Anti-Red Tape Act. So yan. The ARTA works to streamline government processes and ensure that public services are delivered effectively and transparently. It also operates an online complaint systems for citizens to report inefficiencies and corruption. Di ba? Minsan panakot na lang yan eh. Yung arte. Although yung sinusunod mo yung kasi di ba different people has different perception, di ba? So sa ibang tao sabi, dapat 3 oras lang yan ginagawa eh. Pero nakalagay sa Citizens Charter, it's 3 days, 2 to 3 days. No? While some other people gusto nila na ganun. Gusto ko makuha agad. Kasi nandito na ako, malayo pa yung pinanggalingan. So yan. So yun, gagawin na. Oh, susumbong ko kayo, may kilala ako sa ARTA. Yan, di ba? Minsan panakot na lang yan. Pero, yun nga, huwag kang magpapa-apekto. If you're a government employee, tapos tinatakot ka ng gano'n. As long as you know yung regulations, huwag kang matatakot. As long as, kahit maging hassle pa yun, sabihin mo, i-hassle sa'yo, complaint ka, di complaint mo ko. As long as yung tama yung ginagawa natin, there is nothing to be afraid. Tapos yun, participatory monitoring. The government encourage public involvement in monitoring government projects, especially to those related to infrastructure and social services. So yan, limitations, corruption. Despite technological tools aimed at enhancing transparency, corruption remains a significant challenge, and enforcement of anti-corruption measures is inconsistent. Yeah. Trust in digital systems. Yan. So, yun nga. Hindi naman lahat ng tao merong tiwala sa, I mean, yung kasi syempre information mo yung binibigay mo dyan. So, some people are hesitant to provide information. Yun nga. Yung kunwari, mag-a-apply na sila online. Sige, mag-apply ako online. But, yun, ano ang gagawin niyo sa information ko na ibinibigay ko sa inyo? So, yun. So, meron din ano. Kasi, ano din minsan mapapaisip ka rin, sino pa yung nagte-text sa akin? Ba't ba alam nito yung pangalan ko? Bakit ba, di ba yan? Yung, you are now eligible to ganito rin ganito, and then you have one. Nakalagay yung pangalan mo. Di, may makaka-receive ka ng messages na yan. So, yan. Some people are hesitant to provide information kasi nga, yun nga, yung mga data na we provide yun nga, yung those people na hindi careful in handling those informations, sabihin natin, yung iba, binibenta yung information, hindi natin masasabi. Pero yun, paano nakakalabas, di ba? Yung information, paano nakukuha ng ibang tao. So, may reason yan. So, yan. That is one, yung example na kung bakit yung some people are, ano, they do not trust the digital system. Kailangan public awareness, ano din. Kaya, ano din natin yung, siyempre, kailangan magbigay din tayo ng reason for them to trust the system. So, yan. So, conclusion, the Philippines has made significant progress in implementing e-governance systems, digital platforms for government services, and e-payment systems, and is actively working to enhance financial inclusion and accountability. However, challenges remain, particularly in terms of digital infrastructures, access in rural areas, cybersecurity concerns, and consistency in the implementation of transparency measures. To fully realize the benefits of e-governance, the Philippine government will need to continue improving digital literacy through trainings and enhance connectivity in underserved areas and strengthen the enforcement of accountability mechanisms. With these improvements, e-governance can significantly leading to more efficient, transparent, and inclusive governance. So yun, eventually darating din tayo dyan. If we are not there yet, then what's good is what's important is we are headed towards it. So yan, dito po natatapos yung aking presentation. Pasensya na po kayo dun sa kanina medyo mahina po yung signal, napuputol po ako. Maraming salamat po.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for your presentation. No, um, in our country, no, e-governance is gradually being realized to platforms like the eGov PH Super App, which consolidate access to services from the PSA, NBI, Pag-ibig, and more. While this a huge step forward, no, it's still a challenge for many in rural areas where internet connectivity is poor. For example, a resident in Lanao del Sur may still struggle to access these services due to infrastructure issues, showing the importance of inclusive digital information. A while ago, no, our presenter discussed about the legal frameworks that support e-governance in our country. Laws like Data Privacy Act and E-Governance Act are key, no, to ensuring that digital services are securely are secure and trustworthy. No, they help protect personal data and promote digital platforms across government offices. And these policies build trust in citizens who are open, hesitant to share, no, information or personal information online due to fears of scams. No, uh, we have of course the excuse me the e-governance, no, is the future of public service, not just in Metro Manila but across every province and region. As we look ahead, we need more public-private partnership, stronger cybersecurity laws, and capacity building programs for government workers. Now, globally, nations are investing in AI-enabled public services and blockchain-based records, no, which the Philippines could soon no explore. Ultimately, e-governance is not just about technology. It's about creating a government that listen, adapts, and respond to its people in real time. No, so a major challenge in our country is ensuring equal access to e-governance services. So, we have free Wi-Fi for all act, no, and the Digital Workforce Competitive Act aims to empower Filipinos, especially in underserved areas, by enhancing internet access and digital skills. Similarly, the United Nations E-Government Development Index highlights that government must focus not just on digital innovation, but also on making it accessible to the poorest and most remote population. So fighting corruption through digital means, no, digitization limits human interaction, which in turn reduces opportunities for bribery and corruptions. Take the procurement service, no, yung PhilJEPs. Actually, ano din po ako diyan dun sa para sa technical working group ba ang tawag doon ng pagka ano yung DTI, no, yung sa mga systems ano and so on, and which enable public bidding process to be conducted transparently online. Meanwhile, in South Korea, actually, the online e-procurement system has helped the government save billions by reducing fraud and inefficiency. No? Sabi nga kanina, no, one of the goals of e-governance is to bring government closer to the people. In our country, initiative like foi.gov.ph, no, or Freedom of Information Portal allow our citizens to request documents and information from any government agency online. Sa India po, MyGov platform lets citizens participate in policy discussion and offer suggestions, no, for directly to government leaders. These platforms foster openness, accountability, and participative democracy. Okay, so I think that's it for this topic. Thank you so much to the